So what we have here is the Anatomage Table, and the Anatomage Table is a virtual dissection table. It allows us to take a thin slice CT or an MRI and create a three-dimensional object. We can then use that object for training, for patient education, or for physician or clinical staff education. This particular model is a gross anatomy model, and it allows us to look at all the different organs. We can bring in skin all the way out to the skin level. I can take away certain organs or all the organs and see just the bone. So this is really just an anatomy book. So this allows us to see the anatomical parts. If I go here, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open up the image library. This is hundreds of images that we've built into our library, and I'll open up a specific patient. And this is an actual real patient. And what we have here is just an MRI of the head. And you can see this patient has had surgeries before. So I can bring in that skin and tissue. Soft tissue starts to come in here, all the vasculature, all the way out to the skin itself. We puck the eyes to protect the patient's identity because the resolution is actually good enough to where you could recognize the patient. This particular model was used for an anatomy review before a surgery. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the knife and I'm going to cut the top of the patient's head, and now I'll look down inside. And now what we can do is we can bring in the soft tissue, and now the physician can actually see this patient's anatomy without actually having to touch the patient. So then I can take 3 fingers and I can actually move through that patient's anatomy. And if the physician wanted to see this from a different angle, I can come over here to the knife again and I can make a secondary cut, and now I can look in the side of the patient's head and I can scroll through that way. With a quick tap here, I can make the patient look at me again, roll it to the side, and now I'm actually scrolling through the patient from the side.